Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we are back with yet another episode of Learn for Fun. Today we will be solving a 5x5 cube and learn how to solve it easily. All that we need is little patience. So let's start. So let us shuffle this solved cube first so that we can proceed further. For solving this 5x5 cube, we are starting with the white center. Though we can start with any color, for solving this cube, I am starting with the white color. So first we will solve the center portion of this white. So all that we need to do is, you need to identify the other whites. So you can find a white over here. So all that you need to do is, you need to bring this over here and align with its center white. Now similarly, you have to find other whites. Now one white you will find over here. So you just need to bring it over to the top and align it to the center. So with this we have solved the center layer of white. Similarly, we will solve the other layer of white. So let's see how it's done. So for doing the other layer of white, we need to identify where all we are having the whites. So we have two white out here, and you will also find a white over here. So all that we need to do is, since we have two white over here and two white over here, all that we need to do is, we need to bring this to the top and align with the other two white. So we will get another layer of white being solved. Now we need to bring this solved white to the center. Now this is where we have solved the center white. So if you bring this to the top, it will get aligned. Now we just have one more layer to be completed. So we just need to identify where all the other whites are. So you will find one white over here. Now if you bring this white over here, you won't get it aligned. So what you have to do, you have to keep it in the original place itself, and you just have to bring this over here so that you can make both aligned. So for bringing this over here, you need to rotate it either clockwise or anti-clockwise so that you can bring that down. So now if you bring this white over here, it will get aligned. So we'll see this. So we just need another piece of white over here so that we can complete this layer. So you'll find a white over here. Only thing that you need to do is, you need to bring it to the top. But here you have to ensure that when you do this process, the other solved one doesn't get disturbed. Now if you do this, now let's see. For instance, if you bring this over to the top, so you'll find the other white get displaced. So in order to avoid that, what you have to do is, you need to first rotate this and keep it away from this position so that you can easily bring this white over to the top, and your white which is solved never gets displaced or disturbed. So now we can bring this to the top and align with the other white. Now you'll find this being solved. Now in order to bring this to the top, you just need to rotate it once and bring it over to the top. Now all your white center gets completed. Now since we have solved the white pieces, next we will solve the yellow pieces, being the opposite of white. Now here, since we have started with white, we will solve with the yellow one now. Now if you have started with red, the next you would have solved orange, being its opposite color. So let's start with yellow. Now here we will find yellow already been solved. I mean the center yellow pieces are already solved. Now consider a scenario that you didn't get a solved yellow center pieces. So let's take an illustration of that. Now let's say after solving your white pieces, you got your yellow pieces something like this. Now in that case, how you will solve the yellow pieces? Now we will start with the center itself. So we will follow the same procedure that we followed for solving the white pieces. So we will look for the other yellow colors, yellow pieces. So you will find one yellow piece being placed over here. So for solving the center yellow, we will just bring this down and align it with the center. Now once you have done this, you have to see whether your white pieces have been misplaced or displaced. Yes, you'll find this has been displaced. So what you have to do is, you need to turn this around and you have to move this apart so that you can bring back your white pieces back to its original place. So this is how it is been done. So while solving the center yellow pieces, you will find your white pieces getting displaced. So all that you need to do is, you need to move that apart so that you can bring back your white pieces. Now you need to have one more yellow pieces out here to solve your center layer of yellow. So you just need to identify where that yellow piece is located. Now you'll find one out here. So you just need to bring this to its correct position so that you can bring this over here. So you need to bring that to the center. It was placed like this. So you just need to turn this. You need to bring that to the center. And once you have brought that to the center, you need to bring it back so that it is aligned with your center. Now again, if you look at your white pieces, you will find it is been displaced. So what you have to do, you need to move this apart. You need to move your yellow solved portion apart so that you can bring back your white pieces back to its original place. So now you will find the center yellow pieces are solved. Also, your whites are back to its original place. Similarly, we have to solve the other two layers of yellow. Now let's see where all the yellows are located, yellow pieces are located. Now here you will find two yellow pieces. So you have one yellow piece out here. So you can easily align it this with yellow pieces. If you turn this around and bring this over to the top. So I will show how that is been done. So this is how it was placed. So you just need to turn this around and you have to place it over the top. Now if you bring this yellow to the top, you will find this being aligned. So this is how it is done. So I will show once again. So this was how your pieces were. Now since the one yellow piece is out here, if you have to align this yellow with these two pieces, if you bring this over to the top, you won't be able to do it. So first what you have to do is, you have to bring the two pieces onto the top just by turning it around, and then you have to bring this yellow piece to the top so that your pieces gets aligned. Now once that is been done, you have to bring this completed yellow layers to this place, or either you can bring it over here or to this place. So here I am going to bring this to this position. Now after doing this, if you look at your white piece, you will find that being totally displaced. So you have to align it first before solving further. So since you have one white layer over here, you can easily bring it down. Now you have another white layer over here. Now if you move this over to the top, you will find the yellow getting displaced. So we won't do that. So instead we will first move yellow apart so that we can create space for bringing white onto the top. Now if you bring white onto the top, you will find your yellow being it's in the original position. Now we have solved two layers of yellow, and we are just left with one, which we will solve now. Now we will see where all are the yellows being placed. Now you will find one yellow out here, one yellow out here, and another yellow at here. So in order to bring all those yellow together, we will first start with the middle piece of yellow which we have got. So this is the middle piece of yellow which we have got. So now we will look at the other two pieces. Now one is out here and one is out here. Both two are at the edge, not at the center. So in order to bring that in aligned with this center yellow, what we will do is, we'll just turn this, because the other two yellows are at this position. Now we will move this center yellow piece to the top. Now why this is done? This is done in order to align this yellow with the center yellow. Now if it was here, we couldn't have placed it over here, because then the alignment won't happen. So we will move first and place this yellow onto the top, then we will bring this yellow. Now we'll find these two are aligned now. Now similarly, the other yellow was here. Now if it is been rotated and brought to the top, you will find this layer gets completed and you will find it being aligned. Now you have to bring these solid yellow pieces out here. Now this is the only place where we have to bring these yellow pieces. Now if you bring directly to over here, you will find your white pieces getting misplaced. So what we will do for that? So we will keep it in the original place itself. So for solving that, we will bring this yellow pieces, solved yellow pieces, at the back of this yellow piece. Now like this. Now this is done so that we don't disturb our white pieces. Now once this is been done, we will turn this on to the top and we will get this yellow piece over here. Now you will find white has come out, white has come up. So in order to solve that, you need to rotate your cube twice and bring back your yellow pieces down. Now you will find your yellow pieces are solved. Also your white piece has pieces has also come to its original position. Hope many are stuck with the earlier step, so I will demonstrate it once more. So for that we will keep it in the original position. So this was how we had. Now this was how we had the cube. So we had to bring this to the top. So if we have brought this like this, your white would have got displaced. So instead of, for avoiding that, we have learned it concept which avoids that. So what we will do, we will keep this solved yellow pieces at the back side of the other solved edge. After that, we will bring this to the top. Now when we bring this to the top, you will find your yellow, the other solved yellow is come to its back and your white has also been moved on to the top. Now if you rotate this, you will have place for the yellow which was at the back end. Now you can easily bring this yellow back out here. Now when you bring that yellow toward this place, your white also will automatically gets solved. So we will do that. We'll bring it to the top. Your all yellow pieces gets aligned. Similarly, you will find your white pieces are aligned. With this, we have completed both white and yellow pieces. Now we have to identify any other color so that we can solve further. Now when I look at this cube, after solving white and yellow, I find blue is solved. The center blue is already solved, and also you will find another set of blue layer has also been formed automatically. So as the next step, I will start with blue. Now why I have selected blue is because we can find two layers are already completed, already solved. So all that we need to do is we need to bring it and align it at the center. Now for solving these two layers of blue color, we need to move this blue color anti-clockwise so that we can bring this to the top. So by doing this, it will come to the top and these two layers get solved. Now we are left with only one layer and we need to identify the remaining blue color. So one you have here and another one here. Now earlier we have solved similar for the yellow piece. So what we will do is we will start with the middle piece, we will bring it down, and since we have a blue out here, we will bring it to the top and align with the center piece. Now we just have one more piece which we have here. So if we bring this piece right away to here, we'll find the solved blue pieces are displaced. It has come down. So instead of disturbing that, what we will do is we will apply the same logic which we have done earlier with yellow piece. So we'll move this apart. We'll move this apart so that we can create space for bringing this blue over here. So we will rotate this and we will move apart. Now once that is been done, we can easily bring this piece over here. So I will do it once again. So we will move this and bring this over here so that all the three pieces gets aligned. Now once that is been done, we need to bring these solid layers over here, so which we can easily do. So we just need to rotate and we need to keep it at the edge, left edge, because we have to fill the left edge space. So we move that and we'll bring it down. So we have solved the blue piece also. Now once blue is solved, the next piece should be green, because we will solve the opposite pieces as the next step or next process. So now let's move on to green. We have solved all the blue pieces. Now we'll move on to green. Now this is how green looks like. Now we will start solving green pieces. The logic of what we have applied for yellow and blue pieces will be the same logic that we will be applying over here also. So we'll start with the center. So since we have already two aligned with each other, we'll bring the one which is missing. So this is the place where we have to bring a green. So we'll look where exactly those green pieces are located. Now since this is a center, this is an edge piece, we will we'll identify any of the edge piece and we'll bring it over here. So we will find one here, one over here. So we can use any of this. So for here I am using this piece, I will bring this piece over here. So for doing that, what we will do is, since this is not aligned with these two, I will rotate this and will bring it to the place where this can be brought here and aligned. So this is how I have done. So this is its original position. So I have rotated it for creating a space for bringing this over here. Now I can bring that piece over here. Now you will find your blue getting displaced. So for bringing your blue back, what you will do is, so you'll find your blue over here. So for bringing your blue back to its earlier position, earlier solved position, you will rotate this green and you will move it apart and bring this blue over the top. Similarly, we will solve the other layers of green. So we have solved this. Now we can see 2 over here. So all that we need to do is we need to bring one more piece over here. So we'll just have a look where it is. So here we can find 3 pieces. Now if you directly move this, you won't be able to align with this 2. So instead what you have to do is you have to turn this. Now if you try, turn this and bring this piece over here. Now you can bring this over here. Now since we have got this layer, we just need to bring this to the top. So for that we will rotate this and we will bring it over here. Now when we look at the blue side, you'll find it getting displaced. So we will bring that back. So you will find one more blue over here. So if you try bringing this blue over here, you will find green getting displaced. So you will first turn around this green and move that apart, and you will bring this blue over here. Now we have solved 2 layers of green pieces. Now we are left with one, which you will find it over here. Now this sort of position you will find quite usually. So what you have to do to solve this, I will just tell you. For aligning all these 3 green pieces together, first we have to move this single piece to this side. Then we have to rotate this over here so that we can bring this over to this position. So we'll rotate it and bring it down. Then we will move this and align with the other 2. Now you'll find this getting solved. Now once that is been done, you will rotate it. Now you cannot bring this over here, because if you bring it over here, you will find your blue getting displaced. So we will apply the same logic that we have applied over while doing white and yellow. So what we will do, we will rotate this and we will bring it back to this 3 solved pieces. So this is how it is done. 1, 2. Now you will move this solved green pieces up and rotate it twice, and you will bring back this green over here. Now we have both blue and green pieces solved. Now left with only red and orange. So we will start solving. Now if you look at the orange pieces, we will find 2 are already aligned. So only thing that we need to do is we need to bring 2 more pieces out here. One over here and one over here. So which we will try doing it. So you will find 2 pieces over here and 2 pieces at this place. So let's see whether we can bring it over here. Yes. So these 2 pieces, if you rotate it, we can bring it over here. So these 2 layers get solved. Now while we are doing this, you will find all your green and blue getting displaced. So we have to solve that first. Now how we will do that? We will use the same logic that we have done earlier. So we will we will not rotate it as it is. Instead, we will bring this green back to this side, and then we will bring this green over here. Now let's see how it is done. Yes. Now we'll rotate it twice, and we will do the same procedure again. So you will find your green and blue being aligned. Now you have 2 layers of orange being solved. We have now 2 layers of orange pieces solved. Now left with this layer, which we will do right now. So we can find 2 pieces over here. So we need to rotate it, as we have to bring this to this side. Now since we have to bring this orange piece over here, we need to rotate this and keep it to the opposite side, and we will do the same logic which we have done earlier. So we will rotate it, then we will move this twice, and we will bring this back. So now you will find this has come over here. Now we are left with only one piece, for which we will apply an algorithm. Now when we are applying this algorithm, make sure that that single piece is at the right hand side. Say for example, if this was here in the left hand side, what you need to do is you need to rotate it and keep it at the right side. Similarly for the red side, you need to make this single piece to the right side. Now after that, you need to apply the algorithm. So the algorithm is RR2 back, RR2 back, RR2 back to RR2. Now after applying that algorithm, you will find all your orange pieces are solved. Also your red pieces are also solved. So with this we have completed all the pieces, all the square pieces of all colors. Now we will follow the next step. There may be several instances wherein you will get orange in this position and you will get red in this position. So for all such situation, for all such scenarios, you need to apply the same algorithm which we have applied earlier. So all that you need to do is you need to bring that single piece to the right side. Also the other if it is red, the red also has to be brought to the right hand side. Now the logic is that you need to get this red over here and the orange to this place. So that is why we are applying that logic. So the algorithm is RR2 back, RR2 back, RR2 back to RR2. Now you will find the red has come over here and the orange has taken its place over here. So all that has been aligned. Now you have one more piece. Now you need to bring this to the right hand side. Now this place. So for that you need to rotate the cube and bring it to the right side. Now similarly here also you need to bring this piece to the right hand side. So this is how it is done, and the same algorithm is applied. So RR2 back, RR2 back, RR2 back to RR2. Now RR2 is this right hand side. back your back part of your cube. So the because red will always have its opposite color as black as orange, so your back will be the orange pieces. If you are solving red, your back pieces will be orange.